Welcome to the Fowler College of Business Management Major Career Pathway Series. I'm your host, Andy Esparza, and I'm really excited to spotlight our alums and how the management major helped shape their careers. In this series, you will hear successful management alums discuss their career journeys, offer career insights, and how San Diego State University faculty and experiences help shape the professionals they are today. Well, welcome everybody again to the next in our series of alumni interviews featuring alumni from the management program at San Diego State. We're really pleased to have Cameron Stacy with us today. Cameron graduated with general management specialization. And Cameron, just thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Of course, Andy.
All right, well, why don't we get started? Tell us when you graduated and what you're up to today.
Good question. It seems like yesterday, but it's already been 6 years. I graduated, well, I shouldn't probably say that, but it's been 2015 was when I graduated from the business management major.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the job that you're doing today.
Got it. Yeah. From that, I've done a lot of jobs in the financial services industry since then. But currently what I'm doing is I'm an assistant vice president doing wealth management for U.S. Bank. So day-to-day, a lot of asset management, lending, banking related, financial service related things.
Okay. Are you doing that for individual investors or corporations? Or tell us a little bit more about your clients.
Yeah, so we have a really cool setup at U.S. Bank. So I am the private banking side, so I'm more of the banker. So my specialization is in the lending, as in the deposits. So typical bank products like a checking savings account, that's what I typically start with. And then I build upon that. Typically like to start every client with a financial plan to see exactly how we can help and what is relevant. And then I work with a teammate who specifies in the financial advising. And we both share an assistant to get everything done.
See. And do these clients tend to be kind of high net worth individuals, or tell us a little bit about their financial situation?
Yeah, so typically the ideal client for us has a willingness to look at a plan and to start planning for retirement or a future goal. The typical assets we do require to be in the private bank is $250,000 liquid or investable. So say you have equity in a home, that doesn't necessarily qualify if you have a 250, but if you have cash in the bank or if you have a brokerage account set up, that's the target clientele we market.
Okay, good. Well, that really helps with a little bit of background. So I'm curious, Cameron, I know there's students probably thinking, gee, I'm not really sure yet what I want to do. And the general management specialization does provide some choices and versatility and options. So how did you end up in financial services?
That is an amazing question. I fell into it, and I like to tell the story. I was a freshman at SDSU, and I transferred from Sacramento, where I'm from, to San Diego at Jamba Juice as a manager. And they offered me a general management position to run a branch of Jamba Juice. And I kind of sat down and I realized that this isn't forever, and this isn't what I want to do, and it would suck up my time and really be more of a profession, or what people make a profession in the food industry. I'm like, this isn't for me. So there was a career fair at SDSU. I saw banking, and I'm like, this could be my first what I considered big boy job as a freshman, and then started as a teller at Union Bank and kept working my way up in financial services, and it's been great. Just really relate with people and realize that this is a good profession that I really enjoy doing. But by no means did I plan or was born saying I want to be a banker. It's something you fall into, and I continue to work my way up. Okay,
so the career fair, I think a lot of students kind of maybe are a little hesitant, maybe a little worried about those kinds of interactions. Any advice for them on how to engage in a situation like that?
Oh, just be okay with being awkward. It's one of those things where you have to learn how to network, and you go up, and these recruiters at the job fairs want students. They want people. That's why they're there, and they want to meet as many people as they can to try and fit in their company or to help students get their start in a career. So just go up, be okay with being awkward, and just say hello and let the conversation go from there. But it really takes going out there and creating the conversation, just trying.
Yeah. So take a little risk and don't be afraid. It sounds like, yeah. Really
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm curious. The next thing that I wanted to ask you about was going back to the job that you've got today. What are the most important skills to be successful as a wealth manager in the banking industry, financial services industry?
That's a great question. What I do most of the time is I interact with people. I feel like I call myself a counselor most of the time, because that's really what I do more than recommend products, is I get to know people. So it's a lot of relationship building and getting to know clients and what is important to them. So, I mean, most of my job is listening. A lot of times I'm calling and building relationships with people to get to know them and exactly what I can do for them. Besides that, time management is key in this specific role, because I was mentioning earlier, I'm working on my home right now, putting in flooring, and 9 to 5, I haven't even really touched my laptop for work. I'm working more 5 to 10, 5 to 11. And it's time management to really help your clients while you can manage your life is really important.
Okay, that's good. I'm curious. I assume you have a list of existing clients, but are you also responsible for going out and finding new clients?
I am. And really, this job is what I'm currently in is extremely flexible. So just generic, I do have a goal to bring revenue into the bank. I mean, first rule of business is create shareholder value. And to do that, I need to bring in money. And that is my job, is to create revenue and grow revenue for the bank. So I currently run 15 different branches. With that, in the San Diego area, with that, they do come with a lot of clients, a lot of referrals. And I meet people in specific industries that I can target. So, for example, a CPA or an accountant, a different mortgage broker who might not have specific products that they can refer over to the bank to get help with deposits or lending or financial advising. And really, it's building relationships and having those people trust me to then give me friends, family, other people in their network to then help. So most of my job now, I rarely do any outbound calling. I have people just coming to me saying they need help or they need a product.
Okay, so a very people-intensive role.
Yes, it's so much people.
Yeah,
Good.
so I'm wondering, I think one of the things that the management major likes to emphasize is that we cover the human side of business, right? And so I'm wondering, with the people intensity that you've got in your job, like you said, establishing and managing relationships and all the things that go into the role that you described. How do you think San Diego State helped you get prepared for that, and maybe even for your own leadership style?
Yeah, I know the business management had a couple leadership classes, and they were pretty key. Those are probably the classes I got the most out of. Besides that, there was organizations. I joined a fraternity and I was vice president there, that helped me put my voice out there and was able to speak up and work in a professional environment. But those roles and those group projects that you do in these classes are really key. Is a lot of times they don't seem fun, or why do I have to work in a group project? But when you go out in the world, you work in teams, and you communicate with people that aren't like you and they don't work like you. And it's really key and important to learn how to manage your leadership style, to manage your personality, to manage these groups or work with clients that you might not agree with or might not see eye to eye, but you can bring value to.
Yeah, I think that's a very vivid example of some of the things that students should focus on and learn while they're in school, because those are the kinds of skills you're going to need, like you mentioned. So
yeah, and again, it's big picture items, which I mainly took from San Diego State. I couldn't tell you the specific in my ethical class. I don't know specific styles of what's best for everyone, but it's really big picture. How do you communicate with people? And how do you really, I don't want to say how you deal with people, but how you communicate, I think, is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, and as we wrap it up here a little bit, Cameron, I'm wondering, there's a group of students right now that are probably in the same situation you were at one point in your college career, right? That want to get into business, but they're not exactly sure how to get started or what. So anyway, what advice would you give them in terms of helping them launch their own, finding their passion and launching their own career?
I go back to day one when I was at San Diego State. I remember I had no idea what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be. It's really, you got to create who you are right now, and you can change that. I can change that today. You can constantly change what you want to do, who you want to be. It really boils down to goal setting. So find what you're passionate about. Take some quizzes on San Diego State's website about a possible career, but really ultimately figure out what you like doing. If you like dealing with people, if you're more of a give me in a cubicle so I don't have to deal with the general public. And then I really recommend going to a career fair and exploring opportunities that are right in front of us, with employer opportunities that they want us, really, and that's why they're there. And it's the best way to get into a specific industry. And if that industry isn't right for you, you have options. So
okay,
goal setting.
That's really good. I would say that, the Career Management Center does have a lot of great tools, assessment tools to kind of match your aptitude, what you're good at, with potential career fields. And I really like your advice. Go out and stop talking to people, network at career fairs, find folks and understand what it is that might be a good fit for you. So, okay. Well, Cameron, really appreciate your time. It's important, I think, for students to see people successfully graduate and move into really good jobs that they really enjoy and get good satisfaction out of. So appreciate all of our alumni coming back, and thanks again for your time.
Thanks, Andy.